like making me relive the moment of doing it, which I was actually very scared about.
Me too.
I was like, damn.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Like we promised in our previous video
That we just filmed.
We just filmed it. You know, this is the same stuff, but this is a new video. So welcome back. This time we're gonna talk about how we quit our job and why we quit our staff nursing job.
Cause you know what, like we loved the people that we worked with. We still love them. Like I hope they're still doing well. I know there's a bit of there is a staffing crisis. You know, it was hard for us to make that decision because we didn't want to leave our family, like our work family, like high and dry during like these times. But at some point we just had to be selfish. We had to think of ourselves and just do it at the right time. Like last time around during the peak of COVID, that was another opportunity for us to do travel nursing. You know how much money these people were making? But we were like, no, we gotta stay with our team.
Yeah, with our team.
Como pendeja.
But the reason why we stood though is because we didn't have that much experience either. Unfortunately, a lot of people passed away during that time, and it was a sad moment and an anxious and nervous and scary moment for all of us. But throughout that time, we actually experienced a lot, like dealing with many different types of like people. Like people may have had COVID, but they had other complications too. So
for sure.
it was an experience that we had to go through in order for us to have chosen this career. Well, this new career that we have.
And it also made us stronger as a nurse because we worked with, let's say, doctors that weren't as experienced or other nurses that weren't as experienced. So like it made us feel more confident in our ability to take care of patients. So that was another reason why we felt so confident to just quit and just do our thing, because I was like, what more? How much worse could it really get? How much worse? Like we did a lot. We went through a lot.
We just randomly one day said, you know what, like once we were ready, we said, you know what, why don't we just try to see if we could do travel nursing, right?
Yeah, like the process started like way before we actually did it. Because I reached out to a recruiter, I asked how much it was, like that we would be making, the benefits, because you know, we need medical. I just didn't really understand how that all worked out. And then like, I don't know, like the rates weren't really that high. I was like, you know, it didn't make sense for me to leave my stable job. So I was like, okay, maybe we could look back into it. You know, I wasn't ready. We weren't ready to make that jump. But then, I don't know, I feel like out of nowhere we were like, you know what? We have to do it. It also, I'll be honest, had to do a lot with the politics on our unit that pushed us kind of like to just, we have to do something else.
And that's kind of like what I was talking about in terms of negative situations that happen. There's just a lot of politics that took place. And one of them was the fact that like we continued to be a COVID unit without any compensation.
It was like we would talk to leadership, would come to our unit and try to tell us like, you know, the reason why you guys are COVID units is because you guys are so great. You're so competent. You're pretty much like the COVID nurses for this hospital. And I'm like, okay. So then if COVID, let's say, is our specialty, then we should be getting paid specialty rates. Just like ICU nurses or cardiac nurses or oncology, they get paid for their like they're competent in their area. Just like how we were competent in our area in terms of being COVID for such a long period of time. We got more experience, we get that. However, we got no benefits. And not only that, but there was a lot of things that we couldn't do on our days off. Like I couldn't really hang out with my family. So what would have been nice if the hospital even gave us a few more days off. Instead of working 13 weeks in the month, maybe only work 12 weeks of the month. I don't know, something simple or whatever. You know, we have families, right? And I didn't think the hospital thought about how us having 34 COVID patients on our unit completely always being exposed could also affect our outside life. And honestly, you know, being a nurse, we always probably take care of patients that are sick, and there's always a risk, but it's not like all 34 of our patients were all COVID. They never thought about that, and they never really, it wasn't really like a good appreciation for us as well.
And that's kind of like what we wanted. Not only financial compensation, but again, like being able to go for a spa, like pay for a spa day for us,
and then,
mentally.
You know, at some point they did come to our unit and say thank you for all you do, but it was a little bit too late because it was already when we were burnt out and upset about the fact that we didn't even get a thank you. Yeah. So now it's like, now is when they wanted to come, and then when they came, they promised us certain things. Yeah. I mean, I do get that it's hard to please everyone, all nurses, but come on, you could have tried a little better than a cookie. Yeah.
And also the fact too, like that we were kind of fighting for staffing, right? And again, we understood that staffing was hard, like for all units, not only just a COVID unit. However, what we were trying to say is, like, let's say for instance, we have to be floated. We get that we have to be floated, but sometimes we will be floated to an oncology unit, which, okay, that makes sense. However, what the argument was, oncology nurses couldn't come to us.
Because they work with like immunocompromised patients.
Which makes sense.
And other units that like worked with immunocompromised patients, they couldn't float to us. So we couldn't get any floats. Yeah. But we could float to them. I mean, maybe you guys understand that. And if you do, just let us know. Maybe there's a reason. And maybe we don't know.
Maybe we're just still salty about the whole student thing.
Yeah. And at that point, we were like, you know what? Honestly, there's a staffing crisis everywhere. Yep. So why not just deal with the staffing crisis somewhere else, but get paid for it and at least compensated for it? Because, of course, I know we joke a lot about the money, and the money is very nice. It is very nice. But at the same time, we want to enjoy where we work. We don't want to be killed, like, going to work every day, like, our back hurting. And that happened to us in our staff job. Yeah. So if that's going to happen to us, regardless, then I might as well get compensated for it.
I want to pick. And the fact that we don't have to, like, deal with the politics of the hospital. I mean, we do to some certain extent, right? But it's only for that contracted time as a travel nurse.
If you hate that contract, you just count down the weeks. You don't have to deal with the little unit initiative stuff, which sometimes are nice. Yeah. But other times are just, quite frankly, annoying. Yeah. So I would like to focus on patient care.
Patient care. Those are some of the reasons, actually probably the reasons we left our staff job. But we also wanted to change, right? And just traveling in that sense, we thought about, we could go to California. We could go down to New Jersey. We can stay in New York. We can do whatever we want. Like, we just had so many options. And that's why we say, like, nursing may be a tough job in terms of physical and mentally, but it's also really good to have like different opportunities as a registered nurse. Yeah. You can work in an office, you can work in a school, and you can work obviously in a hospital. So there's just so many options, and again, we're super grateful for the career that we chose and the fact that right now this is the experience that we're going through right now, and we're enjoying it.
So if you guys are some nursing students out there struggling to get by in school and you're like, oh my god, I just want to quit, guys, don't quit. There's so many things you could do. You guys will see in our next video when we dive in deeper to our travel nursing experience. Yeah. You know, what we plan to do and like how we're compensated, of course, and how we think, what we think so far about this whole travel experience. Yeah, so, for sure. Yeah. Everyone has their own choice. Everyone has their own journey. Yeah. But we felt like it's time to fly. Not that far, but we did fly.
We flew.
And it's not to show off. No. It's to inspire. And to because you could do it too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It is. So guys, these are pretty much the reasons why we left our staff job. Yeah. We want to change.
We got to change.
And this was a big change.
So guys, thanks again for watching.
Thank you guys.
Do not forget to subscribe, to comment, to like, to do that bell notification.
Yeah guys, so thank you guys. And now you know one of the reasons why we've been so MIA. But we're back again.
We're back in the scene.
Yes.
And scene ended.